What is good, y'all? Come on in, come on in, come on in. We got something a little different today to react to, but it is very important and it's still part of this messed up world. Someone sent this to me and advised that I just, watch it only because, I'm here in Atlanta and I'm like, wow. And the crazy thing is, y'all, you have to be really careful. So this is one of the sites called Indeed. So for those who don't know, Indeed is a place where you can go looking for jobs and stuff like that. You put some information in and all of this. Now, we have to be careful because they are now scamming, and they've probably been doing this. We have to be careful with who we choosing to find work for. With that being said, y'all, I have a story that is somewhat similar to the people on here that are talking. And the title is 17 people go missing after job interviews on Indeed in Atlanta. More people come forward with disturbing pretty much news. It's coming straight from Tisha Tells, y'all. If you want to go check her out on YouTube, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. But we're finna get into it. So no lie. And this happened to me like a month or two ago, but I went on Indeed, filled out an application, right? Everything good, said it's submitted. The very next day, I end up getting a text message that gave me like the information details, address from an interview, and told me to call a number to set that interview up. So I'm working, didn't think about it, get a phone call. I missed that phone call. So when I end up calling the number back, it was like a Google type voice number. When you call a number, I was like, I'd be iffy about those type of numbers because it's like, hell no. Like if you a real job, you gonna have legit type of numbers and stuff like that. So I ain't think nothing of it. The next day come by, I got another text message, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm finna go to this or whatnot. But hold up. I Googled the address and it was like they had buildings and stuff, but it looked abandoned. And I was like, that was another like red flag. I was like, okay, hell no. So I was like, got off. I was like, I'm finna try to go out here anyway. But I was telling one of my friends, so I said, I don't feel too right about it. Cause I was like, it don't seem right. When I go with that gut intuition, y'all, because it's always that feeling that you get where you like, something don't feel right. Get the hell up out of there or do not go at all. I'm telling you, that is your sign, your mind telling you, something is about to go down. Make the long story short, y'all, I did not end up going because I was like, let me call this number. When I kept calling that Google Voice number, and I'm like, they called me from it. I missed it, but ain't nobody picking up. Y'all, what we're about to see and witness, 17 women have gone missing. Going to this job application on Indeed and being unalived. With that being said, y'all, we're gonna play this. It is very important. Right now they're saying it's just in Atlanta, Georgia, but y'all have to be very careful if you're on Indeed or any of these sites. I said that's it for me, baby. I'm doing it the old fashioned way where you walk up into a job and see if you can get a paper application or how can you go about getting an interview and stuff like that. Take it back to old school where you wasn't going online looking for work. You went right actually in the stores and said, hey, are y'all hiring? You got an application or how can I go about, It's too much stuff going on online. Let's get into it, y'all.
Y'all, there is a serial unaliver on Indeed, allegedly. This is crazy. So I just did some digging into this, and allegedly there is something going on where people are getting basically abducted, unalived in Atlanta after applying for this one particular position. Now, it's creepy because the position has been removed and it's only on there for a certain period of time.
Ooh.
The person applies just like any other job, and they receive a text message to their phone. And this text message says like, hey, my name is so-and-so.
What I got?
We'd like to have you for an interview at this location. And it's like a personal phone number or text down number that's texting them. And people have met up with the person allegedly and were unalived. And they don't know who's behind this or what's behind this. This is scary, okay? Especially with this recession coming up and, us being in economic times where jobs are even harder to find and people are really, really, really looking for jobs.
It's going to get better, though. It's going to get better.
So be on the lookout in Atlanta when you're applying for work, just because, like I said, I hear a lot of people are getting these weird texts.
Yes, I got one.
If the text message or the email is not a business text or a business number, or I should say business email, do not text it back. Do not go there. Do not meet them, because I don't know what is going on, but all I know is something creepy and sinister is going on. I don't know if this is a trafficking ring. Like, it's just so strange and creepy. But I do hear it's only in Atlanta, Georgia right now. The person who's doing this or behind this, it's not a legit job. It's a scam. And this person is trying to unalive people. You know, some of these employment scams are just to get your social and stuff like that. And, you know, that's already horrific enough. But this right here is scary. So be careful. Make sure you don't put your personal identity information on there. Because they're doing a lot of weird stuff right now with people being so, you know, needing the jobs. People need work 3 jobs nowadays to be able to afford eggs. So yeah, just be careful, because I keep hearing,
hold on.
There is an update on the missing.
Let me stop her real quick, y'all, because Trump is in the building. Please, them eggs that went down by now. Now chill out. Okay, let's go. Let's go back and do it.
People after going to a job interview that was posted on Indeed, or should I say, a job application being put in from a hiring manager that posted the job on Indeed. Now, there are a total of 17 missing people after, going to the same exact job interview. This is so disturbing. This happened in Atlanta, Georgia. All these people tend to be women or girls, young girls, teenagers, young women between the ages of 20, in their 20s, 27, 35. These are the names of everyone.
Oh, man.
Everyone's saying that this isn't real. This is real, y'all. Please be careful. Like I said, there are scams out there to, risk, your identity being stolen or anything like that. Just make sure that you're putting an application in with a legitimate company. Like I said, the 17 people that are missing are actually missing people. This isn't made up. And I'm not 100% sure what job this was for. It just was a listing or a posting, and it led to a virtual interview, or not a virtual interview, a link being sent to go to an interview. And the name of this person, the identity of the person that the job was linked back to would, get deleted and then put back up later.
See, because I think I applied for like administration type work, like assistant administration type, because that's kind of like with the field I'm in right now. So I believe that was like the role that they had up. But it was like I told you, the day went by, and then the next day it was like the text message, and then they called, and then I missed it because I was already working. And when I called back, it was like a Google type. And I'm like, this sounds weird. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, please be very, very careful and feel that gut feeling. You get it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's always that, this don't feel right. It don't feel right.
Like I said, when you do apply for a place, please make sure that you're not putting in your personal information or details or going up to an address that is not real, or address that seems.
Have y'all heard about them people who apply for those jobs on Indeed, showed up to the interview and went missing? If you haven't, you can go search it up and follow that story. But it kind of makes me think of this interview that my daughter literally just went on last week. So the job was supposed to be for DraftKings. And this is not to call out DraftKings or anything like that. I'm just telling a story of how it was presented to my daughter. So to start, my daughter had a phone interview with a woman who my daughter said the interview went very well with. The lady pretty much told her, "You're exactly what we're looking for." She was then invited for an in-person interview. She got an email that had the details of time, date, location, yada, yada. When my daughter first got the email, she pulled up the address that they sent her. And my daughter came to me and she was like, "Mom, this place looks kind of janky, but I'm going to go see what they're talking about." And I just want to insert that my daughter was unemployed for about a month, maybe more. So you know that feeling of like, I need a job. So she was just like, I'm going to go see what they're talking about. So my daughter shows up to the interview, and as she suspects, the place is janky on the outside and janky on the inside. She basically described it as a place that does not look like a real place of employment with like real employees in there. She said it was just like, it looked like kind of like a room and like another little room. And she said there was nothing but men in the back. Guy comes from the back and greets her, and they had like a little bit of an exchange because apparently there was some confusion about the time she was supposed to be there. Ends up having to go to the back and tells her he'll be right back. But my daughter wasn't feeling the vibes from the moment she got there. And she said that he was kind of shifty, like just the vibes were off. in addition to there being nothing but men in this building.
Uh-uh.
She said when he went to the back, she had a moment to think and left. She said she felt very uncomfortable. So I'm glad that she had enough discernment to get the hell up out of there. Now, this
Yes,
is not
man.
to say that that job was not a legitimate job, but I'm a type of person like if it looks like bullshit and feels like bullshit, it's probably some bullshit. And I pray for discernment, not only for myself, but for my children.
Yes, discernment for your children and yourself, y'all. But again, too, like, do your research. Like, it's very important that you do this thing because that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? And even though I seen the building, I was like, well, this look kind of abandoned and stuff like that. I still said, some still said, hey, try to call that number again because a real job, they're going to pick up, you know what I'm saying? They're going to respond. They're going to answer. And then again, it could be something like this, having people that lure people in, acting like this, an interview over the phone and lure people in another way too. So we just got to be very, very careful. Okay.
As well. So I'm glad that she had the discernment that she felt like she wasn't in a good situation.
Yes.
But it is so disheartening and so extremely sad that people who are unemployed, who are looking for real jobs, are falling into a trap because it looks good, it seems legit. They're showing up to these places to never be seen again, likely trafficked. So please, please, please listen to your gut. Listen to that little voice.
I'm telling y'all.
Okay, that's your discernment talking. And if you don't have discernment, pray for it. Pray
I
for
get it, baby.
And your
I
loved
get
ones.
it.
Because these people have gotten very, very clever. So it is so important that you have discernment. Y'all stay safe out there.
Alleged. Because I just seen this other lady TikTok who was talking about how she had an interview and this guy had called her for an interview at like 7 a.m. for a warehouse cleaning position. I have a similar story. My interview was not at night. My interview was not in Florida. My interview was in Chicago in broad daylight in Starbucks right downtown. So this is how I know it's human trafficking, and I'm just going to shorten it up because I don't even want to be long-winded with it. So the interview had said that the post on Indeed had said that they were immediately hiring and they had weekly pay. At the time, I really needed a job, so I was like, hey, perfect. That's the perfect job for me. So I had got the interview, and I think I scheduled one for the following day. So I went to the Starbucks. There was already a lady interviewing this gentleman ahead of me, and the interview was very long-winded, and I had waited for at least 30 minutes for him to finish up his interview. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, this is a little bit unprofessional, but in my head, I'm also thinking, it is weekly pay, so what can you expect from this type of job? So boom, it gets to my interview and she asked me all these questions, yada yada, like, do you have a car? Do you have kids? Yada yada yada. And she asked me all these like invasive questions, giving me all these scenarios and whatnot. And I ended up not getting the job, but I don't think I got the job because I wasn't qualified. I think I got the job because I was too smart. She was asking me a lot of scenario questions, and I can't really get too deep into it right now because I'm kind of occupied making some moolah. But yeah, she did ask me some like invasive, like not too invasive, but just like, oh, what would you do in this type of scenario? What would you do in this type of scenario? Da, da, da. And me, I'm smart, think I'm quick-winded. So you are, no, I'm just, oh, okay, da, da. But I'm still trying to get the job at the end of the day. So I don't mind answering the questions. And it wasn't like invasive like my personal life. But she was definitely asking these questions to see what type of mindset you had. And then also it was weekly pay and it was immediately hiring, and they could tell from those just two demographics right there that you might be a little desperate for cash. And I was desperate for cash at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm 21, I don't scam or nothing. I get legit W2s.
I'm not gonna lie, if you know, there's been weird shit going on in Indeed. Like, this is not like the first time like shit is going on. But I'm not gonna lie, when I be applying to jobs, like I dead stop using Indeed, because when I apply to jobs, there's been like a couple jobs that I will apply to, and sometimes normally when I apply to jobs, I like to look up the location and the area and stuff like that.
Me too.
And actually try to see if I see the building. But there was this one time that I applied to a job. I forgot what job it was. But like the day of, I guess, I forgot to look up the address or whatever before that, doing my research or whatever. I looked up the address and like the address wasn't like matching what like the name of the company was. It was like something like that, but it was like some weird suspect shit. Like it was not adding up. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna go. And then it was like a far place that I'd never been to, so I was not about to go. And then I get there and somebody kidnapped me.
For
like,
real.
I was not doing it. But if you know to be careful on Indeed. Like this been like niggas been talking about shit like this about Indeed for mad long. Like this is not the first time that I'm hearing but somebody got kidnapped from Indeed applying to a job on Indeed. If you know, do your research before trying to go to these interviews, because
yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Indeed, but it turned out to be a very sinister situation. Luckily though, I did make my mum come with me, so she was waiting outside. I was nervous, it was my first interview. So basically I applied for this job. I just dropped out of college, had a kid, Fella was working, needed something that fit around the both him and my child. Found this job on Indeed, a couple of hours a day, all in nursery time, cleaning offices. And I was like, yeah, facts, I'll have that. So I emailed at like 10 o'clock at night through Indeed. I applied for it. I got an instant response through Indeed, asking for my personal email because the guy wanted to send over some, I don't know, the location and whatever, and couldn't for some reason do it through Indeed. So I sent over my personal email. I got another response immediately. Can you come to this at this time? I was like, yeah. So the next day, obviously, I turns up at this property where he told me to go to. Gets there, it's a 3-bed semi-detached house, and I was like, yeah. Obviously, no curtains up or anything. It wasn't lived in. It was just an empty building. So I emailed the guy. I'm like, I think I'm in the wrong place. I'm not quite sure if I've turned up to the right place or what. He's like, no, you have. I'll be there in a minute. So up pulls this white transit van. He backs it up into the driveway. So the back doors of the van are facing the window and the door. Didn't think anything of it. That should have rang immediate alarm bell. Out jumps this unkept, untidy guy. Work clothes, steel toe cap boot. But he has a valid explanation for this. So he says, I've got a construction firm, I need office space, and I have this empty house. I might as well use it. I'm going to convert it into office space, and this is where you'll be cleaning. So he opens the door, and it's just this empty house. Again, I sort of fell for that little tale he gave me. But he sold it. He was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, X, Y, Z. This is your job, this is your role. And then he says, have a look upstairs if you want, just to get a feel of the place, he said. So, but he was insistent that I go first, and he was behind me, followed behind. Again, I was 19, didn't think out of it. I was like, yeah, no problem.
Man.
So directly in front of me is a toilet. To the right of that is a bathroom. To the right and behind me, a 3-bedroom. He goes on to explain toilet, bathroom, basic stuff. So I get to the top step, and I had a bad feeling immediately. I just had this awful, dreadful feeling. I opened one of the bedroom doors, and what greeted me was frightening. So I looked into the room, and there's a dirty double mattress on the floor. It looked like it'd been dragged through hell and back. And a curtain nailed to the window. So I knew something was wrong. I thought things started to sort of piece together in backing the van up, the way he looked, why I'm at a 3-bedroom house for a job interview. So I started backing out of that bedroom immediately. I thought, great, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. I had to be smart though, because I thought if he detects something's wrong, I'm probably brown bread. So I backed out of the room, asked him, can I go to the toilet? Whilst I'm in the toilet, I text my mum, something's wrong. Please call my phone. Please knock on the door. Something's wrong. It was just a quick message. So she does. I think, I can't quite remember if she knocked on the door or not, or she phoned me or something, but we created a distraction. He obviously shit himself as soon as my phone rang, and as soon as whatever happened. I can't quite remember. I remember him shitting himself. He backed right off. I walked down them stairs. I didn't say anything at all to him. I didn't even grab his attention. I come straight out the stairs, straight down the stairs, exited that property and called the police. I called the police straight away. And because no crime had actually happened, they didn't give a flying fuck.
Dang.
But that for me, potentially dangerous. Had I not have brought my mum with me in that day, had I not have been nervous, I probably would have been a victim of a very serious crime, or crimes, plural. But that was all through a legitimate job website. So that put me off for a long time, applying for jobs through websites or sites. And I just did it in person. I was handing CVs out for a while after that.
That's what I said, in
But
person.
it's a big reminder to me to be very, very cautious, very careful. You can't trust anyone. I'm going to do this dead quick. So when I was 19, I applied for a job through Indeed, but it turned out to be a very sinister situation. Luckily,
so we just ain't talking about the 17 people that came up missing in Atlanta, and they all applied to this one job. You know what? Y'all, we got to get back to the old days. We got to take it back. We got to actually get on our feet, take our resumes to these,
What I tell y'all,
these franchises, these businesses, or whatever it is, and apply in person. It's so crazy that Indeed, there's no accountability on their end. I don't hear this on the news
at all.
It's like, what they doing with these people?
Wow.
The first thing that came to my mind was I can't really say that on here, but I know. Taking certain things out of people's. Yeah, and it's so unfortunate because these people just woke up one day, applied to a job, said, okay, I'm going to this job interview, and they ain't make it back home.
That's sad.
It's so sad. And it's all over Facebook, and ain't nobody being held accountable on Indeed. And how's your kids? How's your wife? They out here. They trying to get us. It's so sad.
Okay, y'all. So again, this was shared to me to check it out, and I appreciate that because again, that's right here in Atlanta, y'all. So far, they're just saying it's in Atlanta, but just be cautious all over the world because there's different type of people doing different type of scams, and they're finding different ways of doing it. Of course, online is the number one thing, but now they're intertwining it into Indeed. These are like actual sites where you could go on there and actually find a job, and now it's skeptical. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because somebody needs to see this. Okay. Somebody need to see this. And it's so crazy that I had a story similar to these people. But like she said, I got the discernment. I got that gut feeling like something's not right. And I also told one of my friends. So if something did happen and I did go out there, she knew because I was telling her, I was like, something don't feel right about it. You know what I'm saying? And, and the sad part about it is people are really vulnerable because they have been unemployed, and they're in boom. And then it's like, oh, shoot, it's been like 3 months. And all of a sudden I put this application in and then they hit me immediately. And then the thing is they have majority of those jobs on there, like hire immediately, pay weekly. You got to look at that too. If it's too good to be true, step back, research, because you can even research and everything would be looking legit. We gotta be really careful, y'all. It is dark times and these people are finding different ways to lure people in. It's the 17 cases and I don't know why this is not all over the news. I'm just now hearing about this. So thank you so much for sending this to me. I'm glad you did. It's still a part of what's going on in our world, y'all. It's a little different, but I'm alerting y'all all over. Queen B be all over it, yo. Queen B is all over it. You never know what you're going to get. Okay. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's chop it up in the comment section, y'all. What are y'all thoughts? Have any of y'all ever experienced anything with these people on here experienced? Let me know. Let's talk. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's get this video out there. Thank y'all for the ones who watched it from beginning to the end because you actually learned something. Okay. Until the next reaction, man, I appreciate y'all. I'm up out of here. Let's talk.